Hi, you're watching and listening to Mark from marksefton.com, and today I wanted to talk about how to build your courageous muscle. How often do we allow fear to determine our choices, whether that's a positive or a negative? For me, any decision that's made out of fear is not going to serve you, it's not going to help you, it's going to put you into compromising situations and situations you really don't want to be going down. And so I want to share with you 5 tips of how you can build your courageous muscle, how we can flex it, just like in the gym when you've got a dumbbell and you constantly working that muscle. It builds it up, strengthens it, means that you can lift more and carry more and pull more and push more. And so in life we need to have this courageous muscle that is constantly flexed and worked out. And so the first point in terms of building, this courageous muscle is to take risks. People that achieve something always have the audacity, the guts, the balls, the drive, the endeavor to take risks. That's really one of the key fundamentals of what separates those that achieve something significant and those that achieve, the ordinary. So in order to flex this courageous muscle, you have to take risks. Learn to take risks and learn to enjoy taking risks. Do not fear failure, because actually it's when we fail that's when we have our greatest learning. We have our greatest learning, we have our greatest opportunity to grow. And when we grow, we accomplish something, and when we accomplish something, that gives us the highest level of happiness that we will experience. I've done a study on happiness with my clients, and the 2 things that keep people at the top of their happiness tree, if you like, is relationships, so healthy relationships, and progression. Having a commitment to progression will help you find those sweet spots of happiness. The second point is to put your head above the parapet. This is how we grow our courageous muscle. It's when we lay who we are on the line. We don't bottle our own value, we don't compromise our own values and our own beliefs. It's when we are willing to take a step out, we expose ourselves to who we are and what we're about. We're willing to take the hit, because we believe in what we're trying to uncover or discover within ourselves. So that's really a key part of building that courageous muscle, being willing to put yourself on the firing line, to stand up for what you believe in, to drive forward, with everything that you've got. The third one is to face things that scare you. So look at things that naturally scare you, impede you, reduce you to making less, conscious decisions. So think of those things. I've got one friend who's afraid of flying, and so she'll never travel, out of the UK, and so she has limited herself in terms of her reach and our influence and our way to engage in new relationships. And so we must look to face those things that scare us head on, help us to really move forward and have some kind of idea of what we really want to achieve. So we must face things head on. The fourth point is to do what others only talk about. People talk a good game, don't they? People say they're going to do this, they're going to do that. And while words are powerful, they can also be cheap, because if you say something without really meaning it, then it's just an empty vow, and so we must be men and women who don't just say something, but we actually do it. And that, again, will help build that courageous muscle, that we become people that don't just simply talk about it, but we actually do it, that we go ahead and out there, we express ourselves. And the fifth way, and the final way, to build that courageous muscle is to find other people who have the same sort of resistance or fear or a situation where they're really struggling to move forward. Now, you're meeting these people not to fuel off each other's negativity, but really hold each other accountable and encourage each other within that journey. So if you have a fear of flying, why don't you set up a group, which is very much about finding other people that are afraid of flying, but with it for the point of not feeding that negativity, but actually saying, let's see if we can work through this together. Let's see if we can harness our own vulnerability and creativity and together move forward and overcome, this thing that holds us back. So just to recap then, the 5 tips, if you like, to really build this courageous muscle. Number one is take risks. Number two is to make sure you put your head above the parapet. Number three is face things that you're afraid of and that scare you and that limit you. The fourth one is do what others only talk about. So be a man and a woman who actually do rather than just say. And the fifth point is to find other people that battle with the same sort of situations and struggles me and you do, but rather than fueling that negativity, we're using it to really move ourselves forward, to find a solution, to hold ourselves accountable, and actually be able to move forward. So just like in the natural, when we're building our arms and we're getting stronger, we must build this courageous muscle so that we can create more opportunities. Take the opportunities that come our way, get out of our comfort zone, stop making decisions based on fear and making them based on your plan, your purpose, your identity, what you're good at, what you love doing, and where you want to go, and stop making decisions based on anything else. You can find out more about me at marksephton.com, and I'll look forward to hearing your comments and seeing your engagement. You can tweet me at SephtonMark, and I would love to hear from you. Coming up on my next video, I'm going to share with you how to break a negative mood.